I own a 2011 Dodge minivan, and after I had it a couple of years, it developed a rattle. The rattle came from the back someplace, but I couldn't tell exactly from where. The sound was kind of heavy or solid, but its origin was a mystery. I checked the shocks because Chrysler had a recall out on them, but they were okay. I checked the muffler brackets, the springs, the torsion bar, but they were all solid. I checked the sliding doors, the lift gate, and the bumper, but the same thing, no rattle. This rattle was driving me nuts. Every time I'd hit a bump, there it was. I became very conscious of it, and I started noticing other details, like when there were extra people in the car, or when the seats were in the stow-and-go position, the noise was gone. I figured somehow it had to do with the seats, but when I checked the brackets on the floor, they were fine. I next tried pushing and pulling on the back part of the seat, and I was able to notice a bit of movement in the hinge portion. I then took a stick and wedged it in between the hinge itself and the back part of the storage compartment. Then I took the van for a test drive, and to my surprise, no noise. To verify my discovery, I removed the stick, and sure enough, the noise came back. I then replaced the stick, and again it was gone. Now I was getting somewhere. In order to see how the hinge was attached, I first had to remove a plastic shroud on the back of the seat. There were 4 7/16 plastic nuts holding it on, but they were easily removed with a deep socket. Next, I had to lift the seat to the stow-and-go position and lift the 2 flaps in order to remove the remaining 2 screws that were still holding the shroud. Once the shroud was out of the way, I looked down at the hinges and could easily see what the problem was. Worn plastic cushions. There were 8 of them, and they were all worn. I could see that the cushions were covering a pin, and the point they hit against had worn the plastic down to bare metal. This created a little gap, which in turn allowed movement to make the sound of the rattle. The solution was, fix the cushions and I'm done. First, I removed the plastic by simply cutting it away. I found that I had to lift the seat about halfway out of the stow-and-go position to totally remove the cushion. Looking at the bare pin, it looked to be about 3/8 of an inch in diameter, but I could see it wasn't perfectly round. It had a kind of groove on it. I showed the problem to my son, and he said maybe I could try a piece of hose, so I thought I'd give that a shot. I went to my local hardware store and found a rubber hose that was 3/8 on the inside and 5/8 on the outside. I cut off pieces a 1/2 inch long and installed them. Again, I had to hold the seat in the halfway position to get the pieces installed all the way. I put things back together and done. No more noise. I suppose this is not a permanent fix, but at least I know how to solve the problem next time.